You're looking for a budget servo, but you want big power out of it, you want durability, you should probably watch this video. So stay tuned. Hey everybody. Well, if you haven't noticed from the thumbnail, I had some fun on the weekend. I didn't film. I meant to. Alright, well, we'll get into that first. Being legally blind. Hadn't been to this location before. Been probably right beside it, but never actually to this creek bed that we were at. And I'll be honest, I can't quite tell what rock is, gonna move and tumble. I did just fine. There was, thank God, wasn't, but there was almost in my opinion, a really bad casualty when it came to damaging a truck, but I was assured it's okay. I don't need to worry. I'm still sorry, Manny. But I just wasn't comfortable trying to film and drive at the same time. I was definitely... I caught myself each time, but I had some, I'd always get the, whoa, you alright? Yep, well, good, everything's fine. Just, the blind guy type issues. But, it all went alright. There was no issues, nothing, I didn't fall or hurt myself or anything. I'm sore, but, no problems were happened. Now, I do promise that the next time I go to any locations, I will film. I will definitely get more footage of even just all the trucks in general, because there's some really great trucks. I do have one. So right here, that is my buddy Manny's GMC that he built. It's on a 410. It's got the twisted fab leaf conversion on it. It's a beautiful truck, as you saw. And that's the one that it flipped over into a deep part of the creek. I picked it up, then I slipped, and it dropped and went straight down onto here. Now, thankfully, it's a hard body. Nothing broke. It was fine. I think he said there's a cracked windshield. I think I heard someone say, oh, it's just a GMC then. I still felt really horrible. But, as you can see from that video, it's a beautiful truck. And there was a few other trucks which I'll post, right here.
To go up and around, and then he had to rotate himself, and then he's backing up, and we're pulling it. That was like a good 15 minutes.
Says it like there was some really cool trucks. All but, I think by the end, one of the guys, his truck broke down, so he ended up going to his small tire TRX4. and one of the other guys ended up going to his bigger tire TRX4. There's some technical difficulties, we'll say, going on with one of the trucks he was using. That was also my buddy Manny's truck. That he let this the other guy borrow that for that day. But I believe essentially we all started off all leaf trucks, except for me, obviously. This is Link, but small tire. But anyway, as you saw from the pictures, it's creek bed. And certain times of the year, I believe that turns into more of a river than a creek. So, this time of the year it was really good to go there. It won't be not too long from now. So, it was really cool to see that place. I'm definitely going to film the next times. I'll film as much as I can, at least. So, from that point to now, to what we're going to talk about here. I've never actually tested my trucks to the scale that I just did yesterday. I build my trucks and I do videos and I tell you guys this thing did great, crawled all the obstacles, and I mean the obstacles I do, and most of the guys all agree it's a good place. It's spread out and you kind of get things done and over with within an hour or two. There's not that many places to stay at, but I call it my testing grounds. Problem is I've been testing there for, altogether, I used to go to other places, as you've seen in old videos, but I've been testing altogether for well over a decade, probably going on 12 years. So, it's time to try other places. I took the Optic to a place, a little closer than where we went, and it was a super fun place. I went with a bunch of comp trucks, class 2, 3 trucks, and the Optic did not keep up well, because it's obviously not a crawler. It's a trail buggy that can crawl. So I did put brass on that. Now I haven't tested that, ironically, but I quickly realized, no, I need a comp truck. So that's why there's a VRD behind me. That's in another video. We'll talk about that. So, as I mentioned in one of the last videos, getting out with these guys is really kind of relit the flame. And I have to thank Manny for inviting me. Thank you to all the other guys, whether you watch the videos or not. It's kind of letting me in the group. I try and be as respectful as I can. These are, we're all people. We need to be kind and generous, and if someone needs help with something, do what you can. And they're just a great group of guys. So I'm really fortunate and lucky to be able to be part of that group. Yeah, I'm sure Manny's super tired of hearing all this by this point. So I'm like, thanks, man. But as silly as it sounds, it's true. I'm very grateful for getting to do these things. Yeah, we're gonna leave that at that. Now to the main part of the video that I teased in the first clip. This truck, and I was getting to that. This truck, I built this truck, I think almost going on 2 years ago now. Getting to that. Probably close to 2 years. And it's had a couple differences, different changes. It had the plastic axles, now it has the pink T's on it. Well, they're not so pink on the underside anymore. But, I never I trailed it, did all the spots up where I go, and it did great. this did 7 hours straight on a creek bed, just straight through. And there were points where the guys were, you know, throwing boulders and making new lines. We were going up. We were doing things that I would have never really thought about, and I'm totally looking at things completely differently. It was a blast. Like, I didn't think this truck was going to make it well, and there were spots where, whether it was due to my vision, like there's a few spots like, you know, alright, I was like, yeah, I had to walk through it. Because you know, you'd be going underneath the tree section, kind of have to watch the truck, and then you'd go up and around to the other side. I just couldn't see the truck far enough. It was kind of, I couldn't see the terrain, sorry. Like, I could see the truck, but not what it was going to be driving on. So I would just kind of go as far as I could, get a couple of the bits done, grab the truck, walk around, and put it back down. By the end, there was parts where I'm like, this truck is not going to do this. I just know it. It's got a big square front end. The bumper was hitting on stuff. It's quite long in the rear, so it was dragging on a lot of stuff. I think the bumper's got some good scratches on it. The body has got a lot of scrapes, a couple dents. It's starting to look like a good old Yoda. I lost the other mirror. But, you know, this thing, it just kept going. From everybody had a breakdown. Except for the one guy who switched to his TRX4 Power Wagon with the bigger tires. That didn't break. To be clear, that did not break. He left before... He pretty much left right when we were 5 minutes later, went, alright, we're done. But, so that truck didn't break, but the one he was using beforehand had some issues. I think Manny's truck didn't actually break, but his shock kept popping off for whatever reason. He's running the pricey shocks on that GMC. So, you know, for whatever reason, that was happening. The guy at the beginning had a super cool base camp with a plastic Toyota, like old Toyota Hilux body. One piece. I thought it was a Mojave. Then as I looked at it, it's actually Lexan, and it was such a nice body. I was like, where'd you get that? And he's like, Amazon? AliExpress? I was like, wow. Like, it was a really nice body. He busted a shock. Manny had spare shocks, so Manny and I had some parts that he was able to piece it all back to swap things around and make the truck back to working again. He made it after that. I don't think he had any problems. The other guy, his leafer, he busted a VRD axle shaft in the front axle shaft. So that was like, oh, because they're supposed to be stronger. But, you know, when you go in a creek bed and your tires are constantly going through rocks and trying to, like, things are going to break. There's no doubt about it. I lost a mirror. Like, on the way there, I told Manny, I was like, there's a chance something's going to break in this truck. I threw it together pretty much the last minute. He dropped off a copperhead setup for me to put in this. Turns out I didn't have enough space for the SC in here. You know, go figure. So I took that back out, pulled the Fusion back out of that, put it back in this, threw the tires and wheels that I had on Just Married, put them on here. Now I'm kind of like really liking the wheels on this truck, so now I gotta get wheels for that truck again, I think. And so I just, like, I didn't really go over anything. I just, you know, well, see what happens. This truck still has the sintered gears in it, like sintered diff gears. So I was sure those were going to break. Like, this truck got bound up so many times, I was more than sure those diff gears were going to go. No, they did not. And then the one thing, as soon as I looked at the trail when we got into the creek, I was like, I don't know, guys. The old RS500B may go. The servo in this truck I've had for 2.5 years. This was the first one, and then I got one about 6 months later, and it's in Just Married. So I'm like, I mean, the servo's got a lot of miles on it. There's a good chance it just says I can't go at some point in this trail. Not one hiccup. So, like, I can't stress enough. And as I always say, servo brands are pretty much like, what brand are you? Ford or Chevy? Toyota or Jeep? Like, what are you? So, it's my opinion, but if you're open to trying other brands, or you just want a good servo, NSDRC. I cannot stress them more. And it is not because I'm a team driver. It has nothing to do with that. I strongly believe in the product. I have over 2 years runtime on RS500B servos. The RS800 V2, spectacular servo. The 700 V2, I haven't had as much time on. I'll admit, it's my first low pro servo. I don't have a whole lot of time on that servo. But everything I've done with it, it's a great servo. Some people have issues with low pro servos of all brands. I don't overpower them. I just 3S, and that's kind of what I do. I only run direct power servos. RS500B is a direct power servo. I can't get it out of the truck, but there it is in there. It's nice and in there. Sorry, I breathed in a lot of pollen yesterday and a lot of dust today at work, so it's I'm kind of paying for that today. So like I seriously I have nothing but good things to say about this servo alone. Like, if there's a servo I'm gonna push on everybody, well, promote to everybody, we'll say, it is the NSDRC RS500B. On paper, 4S, it has 540 ounces of torque. This servo has more than that. It might not have RS800 V2, which has on 3S about 900 ounces of torque, inches of torque. But this thing's gotta have somewhere around upwards of 600 on 3S. Like, the way it reacts, the way it works, the speed, the power, like, it's just a great servo. And the amount of times that I'd be in a rock and it'd be completely shoved over and I'd be able to turn the tire and it'd move the truck over so I could get it up to a different side of a different rock. Like, it never gave up. And every time I'd switch a battery, I check the motor, see how hot it is. Motor's running fine. Perfect mesh. I'd stick the batteries right beside the servo. I'd stick my thumb right on the servo. See if it's, searing hot, gonna burn my finger. I'm by water, I'll put it in the water. It's warm. It's not hot, it's warm. Didn't lose a bit of power. It was as strong as it was when I started to when I ended. 7 straight hours, and I mean straight hours. We went if we were stopping, we were still kind of driving around in a little area. Or like playing on a rock or something. Or we were stopping, someone had to fix something. 2 would stay back, 3 would go ahead to kind of like check how that rest of the trail is going to be. Where's the next steps, you know. And again, it just didn't give up. This whole truck just didn't give up at all. Stock VS4-10 shocks. The leaky SAEs didn't give up. The truck's doing one of these because I think one shock has oil in it, maybe two. Probably this one and this one. But like I was so amazed. We got back to the truck and I'm like, I lost a mirror. I don't know if that's good luck. I'm probably screwing myself and I'm gonna bust something the next time. But you know, oh well, if I break something, I break something. I'm gonna film everybody else's trucks. And that was kind of my plan. I didn't think the truck was gonna make it. So I just put my truck on my back and just start filming people. Apparently that didn't happen. What I will say though, BFG KM3s, playing with those up where I go, they're fine, they're great. Not on this truck. They seem to do well on same chassis, but with portals, or the same chassis but with D44 straight axles. Essentially the same as this. This body might be a little heavier. I don't know. You know, tires for trucks are kind of like the saying, there's an ass for every seat. These tires will work great on another truck. They just didn't work on this. And I thought about it, but I should have just put the Falcon Wild Peaks, the 4.19 Wild Peaks on there. I didn't. And I really should have, because these tires, in my opinion, work great. Now, I probably would have ripped these yesterday. Because as we all know, Vanquish tires are a little thin. So, you know, Vanquish, you can make your tires just a little thicker. Just a little. It's okay. At least on hot days. We were on a creek bed with the water. It was a little cooler, so it wouldn't have been so bad. But there is a chance I would have ripped them. But at the same time, these are 4.19s. They don't have that, like... They're different than a 4.75 tire. You know, the XMTs? Yeah, that I have on this. They're great. I love these tires. They're super nice. I will say, on a very hot day, you kind of just see the tires rolling over. Like, the tires get too soft, and they just roll over. It is what it is. Can't really complain. It's going to happen. They still work, though. No problems. But I will be switching back to these tires. I'll just put them on these wheels. Because like I said, I kind of fell in love with these wheels on this truck. It kind of suits the truck. So now I gotta get, instead of wheels for this truck, I gotta get wheels for that truck now. But at least I have a motor and ESC that's going to go in that truck. So, you know, took something off, something gets to go back on. Things are okay. But this is the only thing that I would change about this truck. I would put these tires on it. I'd love to put Swampers, but you can't get little Swampers anymore from Proline, because Proline is apparently kind of lame these days, I guess. You know, come on, Proline. Be cool. But yeah, I was just so blown away that the truck just like, I had nothing but smiles on my face. I was tired, but I was like so happy I went, and had this sense of like, because that was like such a test to go through for me, I guess. Like, I've built a YouTube channel, and you know, I say I can build trucks, but when I saw that place, I'm like, am I all talk? Can I actually build a truck? Like, and I know I can, but it's one thing to like go play on some bedrock at a park and go up and spend that long in a creek bed, just straight up tough truck style. It just keep on going. You know, they were winching out. I didn't necessarily do the winching. When on the sections they were winching, I knew the truck just wasn't getting through. So, you know, hand to God, I stayed, you know, it just kept me at the back of the pile. I'd get to the front a little bit, we'd get to a part, and I'd be like, I'd try it, and the truck would just, it didn't have it, or it would just drag, and I never want to hold people up. So I would just pull the truck aside, let the person behind me go through, and then I would take a line around. So like I would never, like, unless I couldn't see it, I'd never pick the truck up and just give up in a sense, even though I did at the end one. Basically because I was exhausted. And I basically just picked up the truck and went and kind of just sat down. I was just kind of, I was done. I needed to sit down, and by that point we were all just kind of like, we either do a bunch of boulder moving and logging, or we call it. And it's like, you know, 4:30 or whatever, 4 o'clock, you know, we're kind of like, time to go home. Still had to drive about, you know, 40 minutes to get back home. So so essentially I always drove the line, and whether it was an easier line or a harder line, there was a couple lines I did and they were like, oh yeah, that's cool, and then they'd do it. The truck just did it, and I'm so happy. Like, this is literally now, like, that truck, even though a part keeps getting taken off of it to go on something else, I always say, if the house was burning down, that's the one that's coming out. Just Married is always coming out first. I'm gonna do whatever I can to also grab this truck. This truck just kind of, like, oh man, I love my Yoda. What can I say? I'm so happy with this truck. And there's one thing I did do. You'll see it in the thumbnail. You'll see a sticker there. I'm sure everyone has noticed by this point, seen that the couple from Toyota World Runners, they did pass away. They had an off-roading accident and they sadly passed away. Now, they were local to my island. They lived about 2 hours from where I live, up island. I did not personally know them. I had friends that knew them, and I know people that went wheeling with them, like, but I didn't personally know them per se. We exchanged comments on videos and whatnot, but I didn't personally know them. But I fell in love with the story. I fell in love with their builds and just even the storytelling. So when they passed away, I had this like wave, like it hit me. It hit me like I knew them. And it was really weird. Because, you know, it was almost like when, not the greatest example, but when Robin Williams passed away. That hit everybody. Like, everybody was so upset about it. And probably more than half the people, obviously, never actually met him. It kind of hit me in the same way, like, and I just couldn't figure it out. It was such a weird sensation. Like, I didn't break down crying or anything or whatever, but I was just, it bothered me in a sense. Not like I was mad, but I was bothered by it. Like, they're not gonna be, and not that like, so I don't get to watch their videos anymore. I guess it's kind of that, but it was more like, I'm not gonna see them. I'm not gonna get to watch, them being together, going on adventures, and like that's done. There's no more of that. And now, that said, their past adventures will always be out there to see, which is great. And if you have never seen Toyota World Runners, I can't stress enough, go to their channel, leave a nice comment after a video, but watch their videos, and you'll see what I mean. Like, they were this like super happy young couple that just loved wheeling, loved adventure, and they just kind of like, they brought you into the videos. But they had a Chinook, Toyota Chinook, the camper, RV, that they body swapped onto a Land Cruiser chassis, and they called it Sunday. That wasn't the truck that was involved in the accident. The one that was their 86 or 87, maybe 90? I cannot remember the age of it, but it was a Toyota Extra Cab, and they called that Yeti. Again, another extremely cool truck, but camera thought it could get rid of me that easily. Apparently I didn't clear the SD card, so I currently just finished filming. I don't know where it ended, so remember, NSDRC, go give them a look-see. Go right to the website right now and just go. Oh, wait. Order yourself a servo. Go find the RS500B, put it in the cart, give them your pay information, and just buy it. It's as simple as that. You just gotta buy it, because NSDRC, I know what I'm talking about. Okay, I would have only been brought on, my knowledge is everything. No, I'm very grateful I'm part of the team. I'm part of the team because I love the brand. Okay, loved it before, and I got the opportunity to join the team afterwards, and I'm still 100% grateful and 100% back them. And that RS500B is an absolute tank. Best budget servo you can buy. 7 straight hours in creek bed rock. So, and not flat rock as you see in some of them pictures. It just got bigger as you kept going up. So, darn good servo. But thank you for all of the support and everything. So, and if you're new, like, comment, subscribe, obviously. But thank everybody. Thanks for sticking around. I'd say the next video is going to be a run video, but it's got to be on that, which is a VRD. So we'll talk about that in the next video. I can't do 2 videos tonight. As you can see, I got some bags under the old eyes here. So, we're getting old. It's because I squint. Every day I'm squinting, being blind, so you can, it takes a toll right here. All the squinting I'm doing. And you can feel it. Like I'm always sore in here, just from the squinting. It is what it is. But you can really see it right today. Jesus. Anyway, stop looking at my eyes. Oh, stop it. Thanks, everybody. For tagging along. And we'll see you in the next video, which is going to be about that truck. And then it'll be a run video. Hopefully. Because I also need to run. Boy, I'm talking about that one. Over there, that's the VRD. That is the optic. Got to get the optic out. It's got brass. But anyway. Thanks for watching, everybody. said that about enough times. I'm tired. Long day yesterday. Great day yesterday. A long day at work. So I'm gonna go relax. I'm gonna watch some Doctor Who. Who knows? I do. You don't. I don't know. Maybe Harry Potter. Who knows? I'm a millennial. I'm allowed to watch that. I don't know. Oh. Later, everybody. We'll see you in the next video. Peace out.